Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you. That's not my twin next to me in the same black shirt and a shaved head. That's Alex Smart. Doug Upstone has hair. It's a Thursday, the 23rd of October, or if you call it Locktober. We should have started at the beginning of October. That'd be good with people talking. Look at this. They're giving out locks today. Maybe that would up the views when we say we got a bunch of locks. Listen, we don't have locks, but we have games we like today. We're going to talk about two college football games for you. So before I get to those with these two fine gentlemen, hit the like, share, subscribe, notification bell on. You want to know when the more free picks come out? You got to put the notification bell on so you know instantaneously, or at least once a day. If you have your notification bell on, you'll get a little note there. Free picks are up. College football, NFL, perhaps a rando shorty from our guy Chip, who rolls out shorties. You think the 90-year-old man is rolling out shorties on 30-second things, but he's the most tech savvy apparently. I'm just busting, Chip. We know you're not 90. Chip does the weekend action and free picks here with the Vegas Legends. Football Fridays, 1:30 p.m. Eastern live. We changed the time on that. So there's that. Again, all the free pick content you can handle right here on Winner Circle. Our top plays, premium picks, gamblersworld.net. I'm heading over there now. Look at this. Doug, Thursday throwdown on the ice, Mr. Cold Cash. Alex got some NFL Thursday night football. I have nothing for a Thursday. How about that? A guy who rolls out.
Unbelievable. And
1,500.
As you are?
1,556 plays on the year I have, and 0 plays. Sometimes it happens.
Circle that date. October 23rd.
Yeah. Right, yeah, it's a weird one, and it has nothing to do with. It was my anniversary yesterday, but it wasn't like I wasn't doing work because I was talking to Doug. Right, Doug got I sent some information. I'm like, oh, that's what I kind of like here. I was working, but nothing jumped out for me today. Nothing jumped out. It's again premium stuff though. Guaranteed 3 7:30 packages, all sports. Go get it. The 7 days you gotta love them because football's 7 days a week now, folks. Basketball, NBA, hockey, loaded schedules, plenty of action for you. Find the cap you like. Get on board at gamblersworld.net. There we go. Now, we got college footies to talk about here. I don't want, because we could go on a little rant here about some FBI investigations here, right? So let's just brush on this real fast with this nonsense. Billups apparently running rigged poker games, say, hey, come play with some celebrities, and they got a bunch of crazy crap going on. Non-sports related. It's sports related because he's an athlete. The Rozier stuff, old news. Him, Porter, that was all last year in January. They talked about it. And, okay, the feds are involved. It's not new. This was all discussed 6, 7, 8 months ago. Anything to add to it? I mean, this is what legalization does. This is why Vegas finds out that kids at Arizona State are point shaving because it's legal. It comes out in the open. You're going to get caught. Anything to add, either one of you guys over there? And we're not filibustering for 10 minutes on this one.
No, I don't think. I don't like to say it. I don't know how in today's world. I don't know how you think you're going to get away with it. And not to say that you can't for a while. I just think ultimately, though, unless you keep it really on the down low, and the more people that you involve, especially talking about poker with Billups, I'm surprised he hasn't been fired yet today. At least he wasn't fired when I heard within an hour ago. But he will be, and I'm sure he'll be barred from ever being involved in the league again. And then with the older guy, the other former player, what was he doing?
David Jones.
Yeah, what was he doing?
He said he found out the floppy was going to sit. I mean, come on. Who knows? You got a 50-50 shot of being right every single time LeBron's sitting out a game in a back-to-back spot. And he said, LeBron might not play today. I think his thing wasn't a prop. I think he said, bet us today because he's not playing.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that really breaking news? LeBron's going to sit out in a back-to-back situation? That's inside information?
Yeah.
I've been kicking that guy's back in for years on video about back-to-backs. Come on. No, it's not inside information. It's inside information if you're not watching Gamblers World, apparently. Because that's all we say about these guys in back-to-back games. All right, enough about that.
If you look back in the early 2000s, though, you want to watch or not, you want to pay attention to some nasty
Kings Lakers
football. It's MAC football. Watch. I'm not saying anything about MAC football now. I'm saying you want to see some nasty stuff, and you guys have probably heard 2005, 2006, 2007. Whoa, go back and look at some of that. That's scary stuff. Yeah, really scary.
And on a side note, because and it's you dwell on stuff like it's fixed, it's rigged, it's scripted, all this nonsense, bro. If you think that, then why the hell are you even betting in the first place?
Yeah.
Don't even. If you think that's the case, what are you even doing? You just want to give money away? Well, you know what? You can find any of us on social media and Venmo's cash if you want to just give money away, right? I mean, if you think it's the case, stop betting. Are there going to be bad actors and people trying to get ahead, or kids get no money now? Are they going to be involved in gambling and piss away millions? $500,000. You can't, but if you're going to think that, don't bet, and definitely don't cry that you need a bad beat refund on some nonsense.
Yeah,
and also don't bet on wrestling either. just so you know.
Wrestling's not good to bet on. Hulk Hogan's not going to beat the Iron Sheik.
You talk about a fixed outcome.
Hold on. In 1987, the Iron Sheik wasn't going to beat Sergeant Slaughter in the game in the middle of
somebody knew that. Somebody who was going to win, but it's always funny though. There have been a few instances where they turned the tables on that, and particularly Vince McMahon was seldom very happy about that.
Why wouldn't he? People think something can happen, just do total opposite. I love it.
Right.
The contrarian look, something we could all agree on. All right, contrarian look here. Iowa State and BYU. BYU comes in. What are they ranked in the top 10 here? This squad here, a 3-point underdog to Iowa State. Now, it makes sense to me here. It makes sense. Iowa State, you're off. You got a bye week. You beat Arizona here already. Holy War, big win for BYU in the game. Listen, I had Utah. Did I get robbed a little bit? I don't know about that. Here's could I convert a third or fourth down there for Utah and do something different down there? You yarded him. You did a lot of good stuff. For me, the proverbial situational spot. Sign me up for some Iowa State here, Doug. For me, the only way I can look at it, only thing I can do here. One team off a huge game, one team sitting there licking their chops because they lost their previous one.
Previous two games, yeah. So looking at that, and that's the whole point, is that everything seems aligned, okay, for Iowa State, and they played a mildly tougher schedule. So from a situational side, makes all the sense, except for a couple things. BYU, better running team. Okay, run the ball more consistently. They also stop the run better than Iowa State does on the season. And they are significantly better on third down defense, significantly better. Now, Iowa State, so what's been Iowa State's problem the last couple losses? Okay, road games for sure, so they're at home. But Rocco Beck, their quarterback, he hasn't played particularly well. Offense hasn't been sharp, hasn't looked good. So I'm looking at the Cougars, 6-0 against the spread in away games off a home win. 6-0 against the spread against teams that are outscoring their opponents by 10 or more points per game, and 6-1 straight up in their last 7 as an underdog. Sean, you mentioned contrarian. Here I go. BYU plus the points, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Alex.
Well, you know what I'm going to say here. I don't like the line. I don't like that 3. I saw a lot of movement here in the beginning, and it kept moving towards Iowa State constantly, despite of I myself knowing the amount of money that was coming on BYU from different locations, different individuals, and that's not odd that Doug. I don't think it's contrarian. In fact, especially now at +3, but I don't like the number because I really think Iowa State has the advantage at home. I saw the way the money was moving in the beginning, and no matter what, it was moving towards Iowa State. And, I'm back and forth about what smart money is, what smart money isn't over the years. And, looking at this, I'd have to say that Iowa State at 2.5 is a great bet. Iowa State at -3, I don't like. I mean, I'm not in the mood to kiss my sister and have a push go by here. If I'm going to win, I'm going to win. I'm going to win on the right number. So if I get Iowa State at 2.5, I'm on. If not, I'm going to pass.
This all right. There'll be no pick on this game apparently for the show here. 5-1 last week with college football free picks, folks. So we've moved into the plus zone. 26 and 23 plus money now with our college football free picks. Again, free picks are the free picks. Top plays, premium action. Gamblersworld.net. If you haven't already, like button and comments open. Go ahead. Who do you like in this one? Good points. Big difference between 2.5 and 3. A push and a win. It's numbers matter sometimes. Numbers matter if you want to win more than you lose. All right. Sometimes we'll have something. Sometimes you feel like it, not. Sometimes you don't. The old commercial. You can take whatever we three different sides here and opinions on this game.
And I, Sean, I want to say that I don't disagree with your thinking at all. I probably that's the right way to look at it. I'm not gonna deny that. It's just that BYU. Whenever I guess there are plenty of times where we assume things that occur, but there's always those times then when we assume things and then they don't happen. Okay. Yep. And we're all surprised by them. So I just think, this is about the time of year BYU does lose if they're having a really good season. Not going to deny that. I just like the difference in the difference at the line of scrimmage. That to me, that's what I'm looking at.
And you're getting
the point game. It does look like a 3-point game. I mean, but anything's possible. There are some good trends here for BYU. They've covered. They've gone 4-1-1 in the last 6 as road dogs. This team doesn't seem to. This program in its current format doesn't seem to shy away from playing well on the road. It's not like they need. They have a bad road dichotomy. So we're looking. You know what? I would lean. Isn't it horrible? I know that a lot of books don't like this, but I go back and forth on this. If I could find value on the number, I would take the +3 with BYU. I'm not trying to mess everybody up here. +3 with BYU at a good number, and take Iowa State at 2.5 at a good number, and try to arbitrage there. That's my best.
And that's what you're looking. You want the number because the worst case, I lose by field goal to push, right. But if I'm on the other side, I got a winner in my hand.
Right. And
that's I think. That is the big difference. We've talked about this a lot. Not just Alex, Doug, Chip, Fargo, Bittler. We got guys, when I'm on here. The pro guy has the bankroll because he's been building for years and years and years that say, you know what, I'm getting, that's the old betting the number. I'm getting this number. I'll have another number. Worst case, it's a split. It's a little vague. You know what I'm saying? But you're getting the number that you need. It's a big difference. We could talk about a half a point here and there with college basketball or NBA, like a free throw, just different things. It adds up. You take your games, 100 of them, you got 8 or 9. It's from 51% to 54%. They matter. Game number 2, Mizzou and Vandy. Here's another one, 2.5 for you, your favorite. You got the 2.5 crew coming at it. I should have grabbed Texas Tech at 36.5. A little bit, we could decide on that one. But Vanderbilt 2.5 point favorite, 51.5 total here. Vandy, nice win. I know last week people probably thought, you know what, they're not for real. They're favorites, first time in 8 years, whatever they were. This team, I'll be the first to say for me. I thought going from Hunter to Hunted, they might get picked off a little bit more, right? Change of the whole attitude. They've not missed a beat. And now Missouri comes in off of who they have, Bama and Auburn, a couple tough games there. This is no easy contest. I want to take Vandy. I haven't pulled Vandy for myself. I like Vandy here again because all they do is win. They win these games. This is 2 years now in the making. Something's changed, whether it's the no money, building in better talent, coaching, quarterback, whatever the case may be, Alex. I don't know. Vandy, I think, is a real team. Go Commodores.
Yeah, I think the Commodores are a real team. They proved it last time out. I think they're going to prove it again here this week. I have one little problem with all this. At 2.5, why not just take the money line? Just take it straight up. If you don't mind laying a little bit more juice. I mean, you feel a little bit safer. Missouri, they've covered 7 of their last 8 as dogs. 6 points or less. I mean, they have a tendency of pounding helmets and grinding away in a game and, staying closer than they damn well should a lot of times. I mean, we've seen that in Missouri before. I got to still go with Vanderbilt. I think this is a special season for them. But I don't like laying anything with them. I would just prefer to just go chalk straight up.
Let's go. I'm over whatever Doug has. He's getting overruled. We're going to take a money line Vandy minus 140 as an official show pick.
Yeah.
Doug.
Well, the first thing that I think of is that you have Vanderbilt against Missouri, and they're both in the top 15. I mean, you go back 3 years.
Not even basketball.
Yeah, right, exactly. But you go back 3 years, okay, you have Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida, and Auburn. Who would have ever thought that group of teams would be infiltrated by these two schools? Nobody. Okay, I mean, it's just remarkable that this has happened. Missouri's getting a lot of credit, and deservedly so, for their defense. Okay, and their defensive numbers are a little bit better. However, they really destroyed the non-conference teams they played. Their numbers, if you look at them, they're up. They're certainly still very good, but they're up higher, facing better competition. Okay, in the SEC, Vandy also plays a very good defense. And the one thing that Vanderbilt still isn't getting any credit for, and this is to me the difference between watching games and not watching games, is you see how athletic that Vanderbilt is. I mean, the quality. I mean, they truly do have SEC athletes now, which something they probably had 3 or 4 on their team most of the time over the years. So to me, this game, though, it comes down to the 2 quarterbacks. Diego Pavia, to me, is the better playmaker, okay, in this contest. And I think so, especially at home compared to Bo Pribilla. Pribilla's, he's a good quarterback. He's got a pretty high completion rate, but there's not – against the better teams, he struggled to throw the ball consistently well. Other thing I'm looking at is that Missouri – in every game but Central Arkansas, which of course doesn't count. So they've had at least 1 turnover in every game, versus Vanderbilt has had 3 games where they were spotless. I think you got 2 very well coached teams here on this, but for me, I'm going to take the Doors to get the job done. Okay. Because they have better playmakers. And I think that'll be the difference in the game, whether it be against the spread or the money line.
There you go. A triple header. We all agree Vanderbilt to get it done. 2 of us like the 140. Obviously, Doug thinks we're going to get done too. So minus the 140. We're going to make it official 140 money line play. Vanderbilt, 3:30 kickoff for those interested in watching on the Boob Tube. All right. There you go. TV, old lingo back in the day. Now, again, free picks are the free picks. 26-23, a 5-1 run. We're putting it on the line with Vanderbilt today, minus the 140. Our top plays, premium action at Gamblers World. As I mentioned before, NFL winner up tonight from Alex Smart. Cold cash ice. Here we go. Thursday throwdown from Doug Upstone, number 1 percentage leader, money guy last year here on the site with his ice. We got you covered, ice. NBA. NFL, go get it at Gamblers World. Gentlemen, real fast. Anything for the week? Got any weekend big plays up Saturday, Sunday, Doug?
Yeah, nothing's up yet. They have been chosen, okay, but they're not up. But they will be up this afternoon. I can assure you of that. I think there's 6 in 6 in college football and at least 3 in the NFL. That I can assure you of on that one.
Alex.
I've got a few just waiting on line movement, trying to get it in our favor. We'll have a few up for college football on Saturday, and a few up once again for Sunday. Just waiting on some line movement right now.
I have what do I have? 6 games up. Although most will not be able to be posted because I have Cincinnati -2 against the Jets. That line is now, I think, a 6.5.
Yeah.
Got a Indy at 11.5. It's gone to a 14. Dallas plus 5 or 5.5. That is now to a 3. I don't put those things on there. I don't. I got a number on a Monday. It is not here on a Thursday or a Sunday. I can't put them out, but it is what it is. That's why you buy the weekly pass or the
sharp bets, Sean. Obviously, those sharp bets, no matter what, no matter what I think about line movement, stuff like that. Those are sharp bets, very sharp. That's good. You're in a group, man. That's awesome.
Do they always work in my favor? No. More often than less, again, we're talking about the half points, 1 point. The long timeline, you're going to come out ahead in those games. Mm-hmm. Anyway, there you go for a Thursday. Take the Commodores on Saturday and be a winner from gamblersworld.net. Thanks, guys.